What's going on, guys? One, love out to everybody. We got UFC 328, Chimaev versus Strickland. Predictions breakdown here, guys, over there in New Jersey. 13 fights on this card. It's a banger card, man. Some pretty awesome matchups on this card. We're going to fly through real quick but accurately here, guys. Before I get started, hit that thumbs up button, man, so we can get these videos out. Also, subscribe is also a good thing. Just press that button, man. If you watch the videos and you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for, man? Just subscribe, man. So you can get the notification whenever I make the videos. And, just hit that thumbs up, man, so the algorithm can favor me, yeah? So we're going to fly through this real quick here, guys. Like I said, I've been busy lately and consistently busy all the time. I'm going to be more busy like a bee. So do the best I can to get these videos out to you guys. But this card is a pretty decent card. And from breaking it down, it's a pretty tough one, man, to be honest with you. Could be one of the toughest ones for the year, maybe, so far. So the matchups are very, very close. And we're going to see what happens, right? So let's get it real quick here, guys. First fight on the card, we got Clayton Carpenter versus Jose Ochoa. Clayton Carpenter here. There was a moment when I thought that this guy was like, going to be a good prospect, which he probably could still be. But I noticed some things about him that, he has a wrestling background, but sometimes he's unable to get the takedowns. And when it comes to the striking, man, he's kind of hittable on the foot. It's there. He can land punches and kicks, but, compared to other guys, he may not stand out, of being one of the best as far as striking is concerned. Kind of reminds me of Hernandez. Like he moves like how Hernandez moves, right? Kind of fight very similar, actually. Can be stiff, like I said, on the feet. Very hittable. And he wants to wrestle, and, he can get the takedown, but he can also get taken down. But it's kind of like, it's a gamble. Like, this entire thing here I'm doing is a gamble, so there's nothing guaranteed here. His opponent here, Jose is more, he's going to have the better striking here. Jose possibly could have the heart as well, a better heart as far as like the confidence, a bit more dog in him. He'll put up more of a fight, can get taken down but will scramble up back to his foot. He will also look for the submissions and the knockout. I just feel Jose here is a little more gritty, a little more, I guess, willing to dive into the fire. And I feel like his skill set is a little better than Clayton's. So I'm going to go for Jose here. I'm going to say Jose by TKO here, guys, in the second round. All right? Again, this is the first fight on the card. And we usually see, usually the first fight on the card, they can, go underdog. So I'm gonna go to the odds. I know I can look at it on here, but I'm gonna go to the odds after and see what we're working with. But usually the first fight, the guys usually drop the ball and it's like the underdog coming in. So we're gonna see what happened with that one. But Jose Ochoa by second round. Next fight we got Baisangur Susurkaev versus Jordan Santos. Bye here. I'm just gonna say bye, man. Bye. This guy is pretty skilled, man. He's actually a good prospect here, man. Seemed to start kind of slow in the fight though, and he can get touched up, man, and also hurt on the foot. He's got the 4-inch of reach and a 2-inch of height. But he's skilled though, man. He's, from what I've seen, we mix up the striking, very unorthodox striking, also has the groin. And he can take it anywhere, and he will also adjust as the fight goes along. So it's a guy that, he may get hurt in the fight in the first round, but then he come back and make the adjustments, which is good to see. Guys like that sometimes, you see him get knocked down, may get hurt. Like a Joshua Van was kind of like that. And then he recover and come back. So you show that he got the heart and he has the ability to grind. But you want to try your best not to get too much damage or get hurt too much all the time, because it's not good for your brain. You see what I'm saying? The more you get hurt like that all the time and get touched up too much, eventually the slower you're going to get. Your reaction time gets slower. But he breaks you down in the fight, though. He can pepper you up and break you down. And I believe he's in 100. He's in 100% finishing rate on this guy. His opponent here, Santos, though. Santos, this guy's game, man. He's game like a zombie. Come out American top team, Coconut Creek there, which, you know, they create good fighters out of that gym. You know, different kind of skill sets. You know, they're more known for the ground, for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, but the striking is also as good as well. They create good fighters out of that gym. Santos here, he can be hittable at times. Like I said, he's a zombie, but he can take a shot though, man. He can take a licking and keep on ticking, man. And he will sit down, man. He will sit down on his punches, bro, and kind of brawl with you. Can get flat-footed, but this is the thing, man. You know, if he connects to Bai, he could hurt him, because Bai does get hurt in that first round. You know what I'm saying? But I feel Bai's footwork movement is just better. I feel Bai is a better fighter. You know, he has more of the overall better technique. Even with the movements, like I said, Santos gets flat-footed and he doesn't really move his head off center line. He eats shots, dude. He's a zombie, bro. But he can take it, man. He can take a licking. So if he can take a licking from Bai and keep on taking, you just never know what could happen in this fight. But I'm going to go KO TKO by Bai in the second round. But I'm not confident because, like I said, yeah, we look at Bai as a good prospect and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, 11-0. You know, we see this all the time. You know, oh man, he got 11-2 in Santos. But we say, you know, 11-0, you know, he looks good, man, a good prospect, and then he loses. He loses to the Santos. Just anything is possible, guys, in this fight game. And Santos, you can say is more experienced as far as UFC is concerned. You know, I mean, even though he lost to Ozzy Diaz, you know, but it is what it is. But I'm going to go by, I'm going to say bye-bye KO TKO in the second round, just based off skill set, guys. I just feel like that Bai is just a more skilled fighter here. You know, he has better tools, and his athleticism, his movement is just better. So it is what it is. All right. So KO TKO second round for Bai. Next fighter we got Pat Sabatini versus William Gomes. Pat Sabatini here. This guy been improving, man, a lot, especially with his striking. You know, there's a time where, you know, he lost to Diego Lopes and he lost to Damian Jackson. You know, in striking at times, his defense was kind of iffy. You know, you get hurt a lot on the foot, but he seems to make adjustments on that. But what he's really good at is his wrestling, man. This guy's wrestling is top notch. He will grind with that wrestling, man. He's been finished 3 times though by knockout, so you got, you know, look out for that. If he gets caught, he can go out, man. But he will definitely look to wrestle with grind. And he will submit you. Very experienced guy. Like I said, he can get knocked out though. What he did to Cheppy, I was high. I am still high on Cheppy, bro. I mean, I had Cheppy winning that fight, but what Pat did to him and taking him down and controlling him like that, it's like, wow. You know, I never knew that somebody could do that to Cheppy. I mean, you know, anybody's beatable, but Cheppy was just looking very dominant on the ground. You know, takedown. I felt he had a good takedown defense, but against Pat was freaking grinding him out, like holding him down on the ground, like he wasn't able to get up. So if Pat can do that to him, boy, with Gomes, man, I mean, Gomes can get taken down, dude. So Gomes get taken down, I believe, every single fight. I mean, Gomes' skill, moves well, very athletic kid, very unorthodox striking, knees, elbows. Just like I said, very unorthodox. Technique come from every angle. You know what I'm saying? He definitely can catch Pat with a knee coming in. He just elbow, head kick. Bro, it's all there. This is not a confident pick. I'm going to be honest with you. And he's well-rounded. He can get taken down. And he's quick. He's quicking up the speed. But he was getting taken down. Well, obviously, Hyder and Mill took him down. He was getting taken down by Robert. So if Robert taking him down, what do you think Pat is going to do? Pat, if he doesn't land a one-hitter critter on Pat, then he's going to get grinded out the entire fight, bro. So, against Brito, I mean, Gomes struggled with Brito. Could have said he lost a fight. And what he did to Brito was like masterclass, man. Like, he totally masterclassed him. And Gomes are struggling with him. But again, that's the MMA kind of math vibe. Sometimes it doesn't really play out like that. And, you know, you go into this fight and Pat jump for a double single and land into a knee from Gomes. And he's over. Gomes win by knockout. It is what it is, man. But that's from breaking on everything and looking at you know, the stats and everything like that, and just the skill set of the guys and the weaknesses. And, you know, Pat weaknesses is that is Gomes' strength. And Gomes' weaknesses is Pat's strength, bro. So Pat would take him down, bro, as well as Gomes can land a shin to his head. And it's lights out, pillow and blanket, man. So, but I'm going to go with Pat, man, but zero confidence, 50-50. Because Gomes could connect. So, but Pat by decision. Could be an upset. Remember I said that. Next fighter, we got Roman Kopylov versus Marco Tullo. Roman here is the next skill guy, man. But sometimes he needs the fight to be clean. And if it ain't clean, you tend to break under pressure. Like against G-Rod, you know, and Paulo Acosta. Those guys were pressuring the hell out of him. Which in the third round, he was looking good against Gregor Rodriguez in the third round. But he needs a fight to be clean. But Roman is like, I don't know, man. It's like sometimes it's difficult to read him. You know, it's like sometimes he looks better, like looks like championship in the fight. And then like against Gregor Rodriguez and Paulo Acosta, it just looks like he was a shine away, you know. Wasn't too confident, backing up. Can get low volume. He doesn't fire back when you start to pressure him too much. Decent takedown defense. But the thing about him that he's experienced, right? And you look at Marco. Marco coming from Contender Series, bro. And Marco fought who? CLD, which he lost to. Struggled in that fight, you know, but he was getting caught with spinning techniques. Usually Roman does have spinning techniques, but he doesn't fire them like that all the time, like how CLD does. But Marco beat Tresengor and Eor, then coming from Contender Series against Matthews. I mean, that's pretty much it. He ain't really fight nobody, bro, to really say it. You know what I mean? But again, Marco will come in here and fight, you know, and he's well-rounded, BJJ black belt, you know, but he's been finished twice by knockout. Man, he will look for takedown and we look to fight, man. He'll come in and just let his hands go. But I feel Roman is a better striker, though. But in experience, I struggle with this one. This one can go either way, man. And Marco got knocked out in his last fight against CLD. So usually when I see guys get knocked out like that, sometimes I don't like to go for them into the next fight, because you just don't know their mindset after being knocked out. Because remember, a knockout like that, when you're flatline, it can change you, you know. It can change you. It can make you hesitant to do certain things. You know, you have it in your back of your head like you don't want to get knocked out. He could have come in this fight and just wrestle and try to take down Roman, but Roman's takedown defense is pretty good, but he can still get taken down. I feel that Marco can win, but at the same time, I feel Roman can win as well. So I'm going to slide for Roman. I'm going to say Roman by decision, guys. But zero confidence, because I do believe that Marco can win. So Marco can win this fight. But I'm going to slide with Roman for experience. Yeah, just basically for the experience. I just feel like, I don't know, it's like how Marco got finished in the last fight. He just looks tired, gassed out, got knocked out. It's just, you know, I'll go Roman. I say Roman by decision. Next fighter, we got Jim Miller, super veteran. Jim Miller, man. Jim Miller, bro. Jim Miller been around for a minute versus Gerard Gordon, dude. Jim Miller is like classic. It's like classic, dude. This dude is classic, bro. I have to go back into it and check Jim Miller out, man. Been fighting from 2005, B. Started UFC 80. Bisping versus Liban. Damn. 2008, UFC 89, bro. Jim Miller been in there for a minute, bro, and he's still in it. Still in it, man. This guy, super veteran, well-rounded, can't take it anywhere. That's pretty much it. Gordon got finished in his last fight. Gordon is skilled as well, well-rounded. You know, can get knocked down, will slow down, been knocked out 5 times. Will wrestle, but he's hittable. Slow at the movement, can get taken down. His reaction time is slow. Got finished by Garcia in the 3rd round. Gordon is, I don't know. Gordon is not durable. And he will brawl a lot. But he's still a skilled guy, but not as skilled as Miller though. You know, I know age is a number, you know, just said, you know, look at the age, it's a Miller 41, but Miller is skilled, especially with the gilly. Miller is 42, especially with the gilly. Gordon like to give up his neck, can't get his neck caught in the guillotine. Gordon will let the hands go though, but he's hittable, bro. He's hittable, and he's slow at the movement. His reaction time is also slow. That don't mean that he can't, beat Miller, catch Miller at a punch, but Miller is durable. You know, even though I say it's 42, but Miller is durable. I'm gonna slide with Miller. I'm gonna give Miller a shot. I'm gonna say Miller by Gilly. Submission in the 2nd round, guys. 50-50 though, because like I said, Gordon could win. It's one of these fights where, it's like, how much more does Miller have in him? You know what I mean? But if you look at Gordon been finished like 5 times, dude. And then sometimes Gordon is just there eating shots and giving up positions, giving his neck up and all these things. If you give that to Miller, Miller gonna take it. If you give it to Miller, man, Miller's like, you're giving me your neck? Okay, thank you. Remember, I know, yeah, Miller is 42, but if you look at Gordon's like 37, but then the damage that they accumulate, I mean, Gordon takes a lot of damage, bro. He takes a lot of damage. And Miller takes a lot of damage as well. But Gordon just flatline getting knocked out, and I believe in the last fight against, his last fight against Garcia, something was wrong with his knee or something. But I'm going to go Miller. I'm going to say Miller by submission in the 2nd round, guys. I'm not confident at all, though. Next fight here, we got Grant Dawson versus Mateusz Rebecki. Grant Dawson, he is skilled coming to the ATT. He has the tools and everything like that. The wrestling is just him. 6 inch of reach, 2 inch of height, which is massive. But striking, man, he's hittable. Can get knocked out. That's pretty much it. But he's skilled though. He knows how to play the game. But if you catch him with something, you can take him out. Rebecki, on the other hand, Rebecki is like he takes a lot of freaking damage. Like every fight takes especially against was it a Chris Duncan? Yeah, Chris Duncan fight took a lot of freaking damage in that fight. The Klein fight takes every single fight. He takes a lot of freaking damage, dude. That can't be good, bro. Obviously, well, it's not good. I mean, it can't be good. It is not good. Let's gonna keep it real. But he brawl a lot, and he will wrestle as well. Takedown defense is not bad, but it takes a lot of damage, bro. I'm a slap for Grant. Like I said, guys that who take so much damage, it affects you. It will affect you after a while. It may not affect him in the last fight, or it may not look like it, but as moments go by, it all adds up. I'll go Grant. I say Grant by decision, but not confident. Like I said, Rebecki can land overhand and catch Grant, and then he's out. So, but decision, Grant. Next fight, we got Joel Alvarez versus Yaroslav Amosov. Good matchup, man. This is masterclass matchup. Masterclass matchup, bro. Excellent matchup, man. This fight gonna be a banger. This is a good fight. Guys, pretty much close to the same height. Reach, similar techniques, similar ground, striking, kind of similar. I would give the edge to Joel on the striking though. I think Amosov is good striking too. Amosov coming out of, I believe Amosov is in American top team as well. Amosov can strike decent. He's all around good, man. Both guys are good, but I feel Joel may have the edge. I feel Joel's striking is a little more elusive. You know what I mean? This fight is tricky. I was kind of back and forth. Joel, as I say, is skill well-rounded. 17 by submission. We'll look for the finish as well by knockout. But he can get put on his back though. That's the thing about this fight. He can get taken down and put on his back, and he loves to look for submissions off his back. He would be there, turn up triangle, looking for guillotine off his back. Like what he did here with Armin. He's doing the same thing, and he got taken down by other guys there. But he was scrambled up at times, but most of the time he just spent on his back. And against Amosov ground game is pretty elite, dude. Striking wise, I feel Joel is a better striker. So I mean, these guys must do their work. I mean, they have to do the homework on this fight. These corner people, coaches must watch Joel and go, yo, better path to victory for you, man, is to get this fight to the ground, bro. Even though Joel will throw up submissions, but I believe Amosov can avoid those submissions. You know, Amosov never been submitted, but he has been knocked out though by Jason Jackson. So keep that in mind. Like I said, his striking is okay, but I feel Joel has better striking based off the two guys. You know, it all depends on who you're matching up with. And you knocked up one time, it was only by Jason Jackson, dude. So this is a fight where Joel can win. And a lot of times we say, well, these Bellator guys coming out of Bellator, they usually come in here and they usually lose, which he did win his fight, his first fight first fight in UFC against Neil Magny. He did submit him. It's good, which Neil Magny is also a veteran, is a skilled guy as well. But this is a tricky one here, man. Like I said, Amosov is well rounded. You know, he will look for the submissions as well. It has 12. Also look for the knockout. But good ground game. And the frame of Amosov looks a little bigger. Amosov legs and upper body frame just looks a lot more bigger than Joel. Let's look for everything. Once you start seeing guys with similar skills, I try to look at the frame, the mass, and everything like that. I was slightly going for Joel, but once I start to analyze everything and I see this, you know, I knew about Amosov a long time, but just the takedowns and the wrestling, I got to slide with Amosov. You know, this is one of these fights where if Joel catches him, he couldn't hurt him. But Amosov is skilled, though, dude. I'll go Amosov by decision. 50-50. I'm not confident in this one. All right. Next fight, we got Ateba Gautier versus Ozzy Diaz. Yeah, man. Ateba is a specimen of a man. Pack power, improving every single fight. Ground game getting better. Everything is getting better on this guy. Skilled guy. Diaz, on the other hand, Diaz, you can't count him out. You know, he's game. Will look for the finish, look for the knockout. You know, lost in the Contender Series, came back, lost to Zhang, beat Santos. I mean, this guy has power. You know, he will look to take your head off. So Ateba can't sleep on this guy, because if he connect on Ateba, it possibly could hurt him. It could be an upset. Guaranteed Ateba is high favorite in this. But I go Ateba. I say Ateba by KOTK in the first one. Obviously, they're building Ateba. So it all depends on what the organization also wants too, guys. Like I said, the company will kind of push the fights that they want to push, like big up the guys who don't want to big up, you know, and small up the guys who don't want to small up, you know what I'm saying? So they put them in there with guys that they know they can get finishes, so they can highlight them, you know, build them up. So, you know, make them more, you know, help them to get to championship level, you know, so people, you know, can look at them and then, you know, come buy tickets and look at them as champion, you know. I mean, you know the game run already. You know what I'm saying? Bigger social media platform, you know. Now you have a guy like Ateba, it's kind of like, you know, it could be like a, what's that guy name? That's Stepan Moyacek. What's that guy name? I forgot his name, bro. I forgot the guy's name, but you guys know what I'm talking about. He can be like Nagano. You know what I'm saying? You can build him up like how they build Nagano. And then you have a guy at table who's like the next Nagano, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we see how it goes, but KOTK first round by Ateba. Next fight, we got King Green versus Jeremy Stevenson. We bring back Jeremy Stevenson. Green looked good in his last fight, man. I was freaking surprised in that fight. I mean, I actually had, you know, Daniel Zulhuber winning, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, you know, how Daniel gonna look against Green after his last fight, you know, with Michael Johnson, and he got finished in that fight, man. But Green looked good in that fight, though, man. And Green is a super veteran guy, you know, been there for a while, you know. He always seemed to improve on his skill set. Steven, on the other hand, I don't know, man. Steven, Wild dude, you know, we look to take your head off, kind of brawl at times. Um, I mean, been doing bare knuckle boxing. Last MMA win. But his last MMA fight was against Mason Jones. You guys remember that? She got destroyed in that fight. His last win in MMA though was his last win was against Miles Price in PFL. 2022 was his last win, dude. Can Steven land a punch on Green? He possibly can, because that's what Steven gonna come in here and do is freaking brawl. I gotta go with Green though, man. I say Green by decision. Like I said, Green is can get touched, but he uses a shell defense, the Philly shell kind of style, and kind of roll with the punches. So it's a little bit harder to hit, but he can still get caught. So it's a fight where it's like both by age is 39, I believe, but it is what it is at the end of the day. You know, we see what happened, but I'm a slab with Green. He's just more active. You know, Steven's been doing, you know, cage fighting, but he's been doing bare knuckles, and that one fight he had recently in MMA, he lost that. So let's go with Green by decision. Next fighter, we got Sean Brady versus Joaquin Buckley. This one is a tricky one. Brady is skilled as well. He's a well-rounded guy. He look to wrestle with grind. Striking is so. You know, reason for that because he kind of slow at the punches, and he's becoming more hittable at times. The reaction time is slower, especially in this fight. You know, what I mean, the quicker fighter here is gonna be Buckley by a mile, dude. Buckley gonna be very explosive in this fight. He's gonna be a very heavy hitter, very powerful with the punches, with the overhands, and improved skill set and 4-inch reach. After fighting with Kamaru Usman, I believe he went and, you know, signed up for Kill. Was it Kill? What's the name of the gym that Usman is at? Something Kill something. I forgot the name of it though. What's the name of it? Kill something. I don't like to say things and can't explain it properly. Looked up. I know it's Kill Cliff or Cliff. Is it Kill Cliff or something like that? I think so. Well, he's at Kill Cliff down in South Florida. So he's training with all these guys like Usman and all of them, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I heard. So yes, Kill Cliff, I believe. Yeah, so pretty much he's improving on his wrestling and getting better. So yeah, that means that he should be better in this fight for takedown defense, because you're gonna be training with some good guys like Kill Cliff. I think before he was just training up where he used to be at, and not much. I mean, he had a little gym that he trained with, but I guess he wasn't training with a lot of people. So you should be prepared for this. But it's just the factor is that the thing about this fight is that Buckley's gonna have a 4-inch reach. Buckley's very explosive. Buckley's gonna be the quicker guy. Speed kills, man. Brady's like slow at the movement, bro. And Brady got finished in his last fight. You know what I mean? So even though he got finished by Michael Morales, but again, Buckley is also explosive. So Brady gonna be grinding in this fight for takedowns, grinding. But the thing is that he's not as quick though. He's not as quick how Usman was quick. So Usman was timing it. Usman was timing Buckley well. Timing Buckley. I don't know if Brady gonna be able to do that. And if Brady gets touched, I don't know how he's gonna react. You know what I mean? And it looks like in the fight against Michael Morales, it was like kind of like he wasn't committing too much. It was kind of like on the back foot, just like he was hesitating. Can't do that with Buckley, the guy that's explosive like that. I'm going to go Buckley. I'm going to say Buckley by KOTK in the second round, man. I just feel like Brady's reaction is slow. The speed difference is going to be like the biggest issue here, man. So Buckley by KOTK second. Next fighter, we got Alexander Volkov versus Waldo Cortes-Acosta Volkov is freaking skilled dude, man. Rangy, is well-rounded, has a karate base, improved ground game, but can still get taken down. And with Volkov, once you take him down, he's down. He's just on his back, bro. So Waldo, Waldo has had the game plan that he had with Despain. When he fought this Despain, he has to have that kind of game plan. And with Despain was a little more lighter on his foot, taekwondo background. Volkov, he does move around and he does pick his shots, but he's not as light how this Despain is light on his foot. And he doesn't have that much movement like that. But he still moves though. But you're gonna have to get this fight to the ground. Because striking at range with Volkov, at Volkov's range, is not going to work for him. He's going to get picked apart, which I think that's going to be the game plan that he's going to do. He has to have that Despain game plan. Go in here, throw some punches. Waldo will look to brawl and then look for takedowns. And like I said, Waldo is very durable. You know what I'm saying? With Volkov here, he was just getting grinded out by Jonathan Almeida. But that fight could have went to Almeida, but they gave it to Volkov because Almeida wasn't doing nothing. He just took him down and later. And I think that's why they cut Almeida, because he's not performing in his fights. I think they cut him. He's just not performing. So yeah, he's going in there and just not doing anything. And if you don't want to do it, then don't go in there. It is what it is. This is a game. You sign up for it, but if you don't want to do it, then just don't do it. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make you like weak or nothing like that. It's just not your thing. So it's not everybody can do this. You know what I'm saying? It just depends if you want to or not. Or you train for it too. You gotta train for it. But I'll go Waldo. I'll say Waldo by decision, guys. But I'm not confident. Like I said, if the game plan has to be him mixing it up for takedowns, which he did against this Spain, and if he can do this, like how Almeida was taking down. He was taking down Volkov in every round. But Almeida has more of a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But what I say from Acosta, it looks like he can throw down some double single legs like that. So I go Waldo. So Waldo by decision. But zero confidence because if he's unable to take down Volkov, he's going to be in problems. Volkov's going to pick him apart. So Volkov can win, guys. Just putting that out there. Next fighter, we got co-main event. We got Josh Van versus Tasha Toharo. This is going to be for that 125 strap. Van's skilled dude, man. Well-rounded, improved skills. Van is all around athletic, very skilled kid. Learns fast, pick things up quickly. And with Toharo, next skilled guy to Japan. This guy is very technical. 5-inch reach on him. The only thing I see in this fight that could be an issue is that Van has more of a dog in him. And with Toharo, he has the skills, he has everything, but sometimes he has to keep it clean. And if he's unable to keep it clean, then I can see situations where Van can capitalize on that because Van is willing to go into the fire. The more dog is in Van. I feel that, but Toharo will jump his back and lock in, and try to lock it for that rear naked, or just lock the legs in and hold him there and just pepper him up, because Toharo ground game is pretty good, so he would double single leg, but Van keeps improving. That's the thing about Van, he keeps improving consistently. There's a point where with Van, you could possibly get him down early in his career. I believe when he fought Zagos, right, he was getting taken down a little bit, I believe. And anyway, other fights here, Philip Bones, I believe, was getting taken down or something like that. But then, as moments go by, the skills just improve. He just improved. He was a guy that was tough to take down, and his boxing is on point. Striking wise, boxing wise, I gotta go with Van. With Toharo, more long range techniques and mixing it up with kicks and punches, I go with Toharo. More of a karate kind of vibe, but straight raw boxing, I gotta go with Van, man. Grown game, I gotta go with Toharo, but Van keeps improving. That's the thing. So I gotta go with Van. I say Van by decision, guys. All right, but I'm not confident because, like I said, with Toharo is very skilled. All right, so that's it right there. Main fight in the card, we got Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland. Yeah, man. Khamzat, man, this guy, he shows that he's skilled, bro. Now, what he did to Whitaker, I mean, did the Plessy is like, guy is skilled, man. And he can go rounds, he goes to decision. He can maintain his cardio. You know, the guy high level, his ground game is freaking high level, dude. Sean Strickland is skill, his striking is skill. But I can see Chimaev just walking through him, to be honest with you. But again, his striking is skill, but you're going to have to like get a one-hitter quitter. Not sure if he's going to be able to get that. Anthony Hernandez, he had a knockout, but I was like in third round. I don't really see him just peppering, you know, Chimaev like that, peppering him like that. Chimaev's not going to sit in front of him and let him pepper him. He's going to take him down. And Chimaev takes down everybody, dude. So Sean Strickland has a good ground game. Don't get it wrong. His you know, his takedown defense is good, but I believe Plessy was taking him down. I could be wrong about that, but I believe Plessy took him down in a fight. I got to go with Chimaev, guys. I said Chimaev. I said Chimaev by decision because Strickland's a tough dude, man. He can take a licking and keep on ticking. But Chimaev by decision, guys. Quick look at the odds here, guys. Say we're working with these crazy banana odds. Totally crazy, man. Just check it out, man. Let's see what the odds are working with. Crazy odds. Yes, get it, man. Good vibes all the time, guys. Positive vibes. Don't let nobody rock you. Don't let nobody kick you off your game, man. Always keep a positive mindset, bro. And let love guide you. Never hate, man, you know. So no matter what you're going through, just keep pushing forward no matter what it is, and don't let nobody rattle you. Especially don't let them play with your emotions, you know. Because people will push your buttons, believe me. And they're always looking for you to react. And they love it when you react. Because they will use your reaction against you. That's how sick it is, man. But we keep pushing forward though, guys. Buy here, I guess Santos, buy at 600 and something. I don't really see nothing wrong with that, but still, like I said, buy can get hurt in the first round, can get touched up. But just the movement from buy and with Santos is hittable, can get stationary. It is what it is, but the odds are kind of high on him though, but I feel buy should win. Pat Sabatini against William Gomes, 200 and something against William Gomes. I'd be careful with this one. To me, this is slight even. I may give Pat a little favorite, but it's freaking even. It's kind of, well, I give Pat a little favorite, like a 130, something like that, close. Because, like I said, Gomes can strike, dude. And if Bones catch him with something, it's lights out. And Pat can get knocked out. He can get caught. So be careful. Clayton Carpenter and Jose at 158, 176, 188. I don't really see nothing wrong with this. I feel Jose should win this fight. And I'm not seeing what Carpenter is going to do because he can't keep the pace. He will come in here and wrestle, then he gets tired and he gets touched up. That's pretty much it. He doesn't keep a pace. So I don't see nothing wrong with odds on that one. Marco Tula versus Ramon Kopylov. They got Marco Tula's favorite. I disagree. This fight is even. Just how Marco looked in his last fight. The experience from Ramon. Ramon is skill. So don't count him out. He's skill and he's experienced. Even fight. But Marco can win. Don't get it twisted. That's why he's even. The odds are messed up on this one. Be careful. Gerard Gordon versus Jim Miller. Got Gerard Gordon at 300 and something. Totally disagree. This is an even fight. Even fight. The way how Gordon fight, his defense, been knocked out 5 times. He will give up his neck and get taken down. You get taken down and give up his neck against Miller. Gilly time is over. It's over, dude. He's going to get submitted and he's going to get flipped over and submitted, bro. Believe me on that. But Gordon is tough, though, and he will hang in there and fight it. But Miller, once he got it on you, he usually get it. So this year, you're going to go 300 on Gordon? Even off of his last performance? I wouldn't do that, man. I'd be careful. I like Miller, but it's even, though. Grant Dawson and Matthias Rebecki. Grant at 170, 182. This is an even fight, man. Like I said, with Grant, you can't get caught, dude. You can't touch him when he's out. So it's not durable. And my guy like Rebecki is like a dog. He will fight. He will come in here and keep a pace on you and take a lot of damage. But how much damage can he take until it's his last time? And he gets knocked out, or he gets hurt, or gets, you just can't keep up with it no more. Okay, you're not supposed to take damage like that. No one's supposed to take damage like that. So just so long you can do that for, you know what I'm saying? So this fighter is even, so be careful. Amosov and Joel Alvarez, this fight, they got Amosov as 170, 190. This fight is also even. These guys are both similar. I was kind of going for Joel. I switched to Amosov because of takedowns and the ground game. But Joel also has a ground game. And like I said, I feel the striking from Joel is better. So it's an even fight. So like I said, a lot of guys coming from Bellator, which is Amosov, sometimes can drop the ball, man. So be careful with this one. Even fight. Ateba versus Ozzy. Ateba, told you this guy's going to be a high favorite. Ozzy got a punch. Ozzy got a puncher's chance, dude. Put it that way. He has a puncher's chance. So does that mean Ateba should be this high? I guess so, because he got a puncher's chance. If he can land a punch in Ateba and catch him, then it is what it is. Because he does pack power. So I wouldn't mess with this one at all. Because it doesn't make any sense putting Ateba, do a parlay with Ateba and then Ozzy come in here and catches him with something. You see what I'm saying? So you better have dog or pass. Joaquin Buckley, Sean Brady. Joaquin Buckley plus 147, 150 against Sean Brady. Totally disagree. This fight is even. I like Buckley, but it's even. Because Sean Brady can win, don't get it wrong. But just based off of what I've been, breaking down and seeing how to fight, speed difference, timing. Sean Brady got finished his last fight, his reaction time, and look at Joaquin Buckley switch his gym, putting more time into his wrestling, getting better. I like Buckley. There's explosiveness, the speed, the power. And BC Brady just falls to that. He doesn't do too well because he's not going to be the quicker fighter here. It's even, man. This is crazy. It's even. Jeremy Stevenson, King Green, King Green. I guess you call him King Green. I got Green as 300, 400 something. Stevens got a puncher's chance because, Green can get hurt in the foot. He can get finished too. But can Steven catch him? I don't know. He doesn't look so good in MMA or, from his fights. He hasn't been doing MMA. And in the fights that he did recently, he lost, and the one that he won is like 2022. So I don't know. Green should be this high, I guess so in some kind of way, but still be careful because Green can still drop the ball. Volkov and Costa, Volkov 155, 174. Yeah, I could see why. Volkov rangy, skill guy, experience, super experienced, veteran. Yeah, I could see Volkov winning, but I can also see Acosta winning as well. If he can take it on Volkov and work the same game plan like he did with the Spain, then he can get a win. He can pull off a decision. Or even a ground and pound finish. It's possible. So I have this fight as even, guys. I like Waldo Acosta for it too. Yeah. Joshua Van and Taharo. Taharo at 156, 157. This fight is even, bro. Yeah. Because Tahara is skill, but Van is also skill, and Van keeps improving. What I see from Tahara is skill, but he doesn't improve as much as Van does. Van is consistently improving. What I see from Tahara is kind of like the same thing. So this fight is even. That's just pretty much it. Chimaev, 400 and something, 600 and something against Sean Strickland. Yeah. Sean Strickland needs a one-hitter quitter. So not just backing him up and like throwing an accumulation of punches. He needs a one-hitter quitter because backing him up not going to do nothing because Chimaev is going to take him down. He won't even have a chance to back him up. Chimaev is going to take him to the ground, man. So yeah, the odds on that don't look too bad, but a lot of odds on here fights should be even because the guys that they're fighting are also skill and speed and athleticism like Buckley. You know what I'm saying? And timing and the speed difference, bro. Speed kills, man. And Sean Brady is going to be the way slower fighter in there, bro. Way slower fighter, bro. So, he would have to... Sean Brady would have to grind and stay at it and then stay on him. And while he's doing that, he's gonna get caught by shots. He's gonna get caught with a shot, man. That is how I see it. But it is what it is. That's the breakdowns there, guys. You guys keep on kicking. Don't forget, let love guide you, never hate, and just do the best you can, man. At the end of the day, man. I don't think you can control in this world, man. In this game we're playing, in this realm, in this experience that we're having, the only thing you can honestly control, man, is yourself, man, which is your emotions, your fears. You have control over that. So always remember, whatever you're speaking, your actions, all those things, they're all manifest. So if you have control over what you're doing, then you can achieve what you want. So don't let anybody shake you or rock you or mess with your emotions, because you have control over all that. So that's why sometimes it's good to go and meditate and get away from all the foolishness, get away from all the noise. Separate yourself from things. Sometimes you need to step away from things and just find a quiet place and just reset. Go on, go for a walk, go and exercise, eat more healthy foods, put down the cigarettes and the alcohol and the drugs, clean out your temple, because this also will help you with your mental state. 'Cause a lot of people struggle with addictions, man, and mental also. People get depression, which lead to suicidal thoughts. All these things, bro. It's a day-to-day fight, man. A lot of people, they use drugs and they use things to mask, to mask everything, to mask, I guess you want to say, the feelings or the thoughts, just to get through the day. And a lot of people, they can't feel. They don't know what a feeling is, because when you're talking about feeling, you're talking about tapping back into your inner self and connecting back to yourself, which you're letting go of everything around you and you're just being one with yourself. A lot of people it's not able to get there, so they end up, acting, like malicious. They may treat you like crap. They may be bullies. They struggle with their own mental. And whenever people struggle with things, they don't know how to find themselves. They don't know how to fix that. So they end up just lashing out on other people. They play victims, looking for a reaction. And they want the reaction because now they can point a finger. They like to switch it back on you, But like I said, just quiet everything and find a quiet place, a place with no name. And just work on what you're working on and stay locked in, and you will create what or where you put your energy. Just keep it positive, though. Have to keep it positive, right? And do it out of love, all right? One love, guys. Us.